Matt, a disappointing result, just didn't go our way today. What went wrong?
Well, there didn't seem to be too much in the game. Goals came at the bad time for ourselves. Could have both have been avoided. I just felt we were probably a little bit second best too often when that ball was bouncing in around us, and you expect that when you come to Tranmere. It's happened to us over the seasons, and we expected that today, but I also felt that seeped into our use of the ball, and very rarely uncharacteristically did we get that ball where we wanted it today. Too many unforced errors, too many balls bouncing off us. We turned up and we thought, what a fantastic pitch, but it just felt almost that when those balls were near us, it was too quick for our own feet. I've got to look at myself in terms of the team because of the energy aspect, but on the back of the performances recently, I felt it was the right thing to do.
I think you said it yourself there, uncharacteristic. Yeah. Defensively, a bit.
Well, you've got to give credit to Tranmere. You've got to give credit to Tranmere because they've turned us into that. We're not a poor team in possession of that football, and there was space on that football pitch. We just didn't use it well enough. But that was a culmination of what the game did to us and what Tranmere did to us, and they put us under an awful lot of pressure and that hustle and bustle, and they came out on top of those moments, and then it seeped into our attacking play and our use of the ball. And we're a good team in possession, and we use the ball better than we usually do. Certainly on a fantastic pitch like today. So that's something we've got to learn from and be better for.
I think the first goal probably came at a bad time as well, even when you're not on top, getting to half-time goals.
We started the game pretty well. I was hitting the crossbar. We started the game pretty well. I think it was, like I say, it felt even, and it came out of, I guess I've used that phrase, hustle and bustle, top on the pitch from there. Two centre forwards just manoeuvring our centre halves and then putting us out of position, and then a cut back which we could have defended a little bit better. But that happens. That happens. Like I say, you might fall a goal behind in games like this. You might be put under pressure. We've still got to understand what we are at Exeter City, and I'm ended up chasing the game and putting certain personnel in uncharacteristic positions in that second half just to give some sort of control. We couldn't gain any other control any other way.
I think it was one of those games as well. There was just loose balls from both sides.
It felt like that, didn't it? Yeah. Certainly from ourselves, and that's not what it usually feels like. The moments we did get it clean and move the ball through the space, we looked like we could hurt the opposition and threaten their goal. It didn't happen often enough, and like I say, it felt we couldn't quite get those legs up and those feet in the right position to receive the ball even at pace. But full credit to Tranmere today.
Peculiar moment in the second half over in that corner with Czech Diabate, and I think it was a ball boy. Do you know what happened there at all?
Well, Czech, it looked like the lad threw the ball away and Czech put his hands on him. He can't do that. He's been booked. We'll discipline him as a football club. One of the reasons I had to take him off, and us as well in terms of bouncing the ball away. So, like I say, the game turned us into something which we don't want to be. And young players or more senior players, they've got to be more experienced in that. If you're going to get booked, don't take a cheap booking. Get booked for something worthwhile. So that's a moment for Czech to learn from and from us to learn from.
Do you think there was perhaps any fatigue following on from Friday?
Well, that's what I touched upon earlier on. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. In hindsight, maybe freshen up certain personnel. We've not got the biggest squad at the moment in the world in terms of playing 90 plus minutes, but they played on Friday as well, and they played on a big pitch at Bradford. So that was only an issue as the game went on, and we started to come out second best. And if you start to come out second best, then you can feel a little bit more tired than maybe what you already were. If we're in the ascendancy and we're feeling good about ourselves, then you don't feel that fatigue.
Something we've spoken about before is we don't get too high when we win, we don't get too low, and there's plenty of reasons to be positive still.
Yeah, we're still in a good position. Like I say, apart from the goal for the first hour, there wasn't too much in that game, and we've obviously got to defend that second moment well. That was a really cheap one to give them that comfortable lead, so to speak. We've got a lot to learn off the back of today, but this place always teaches you a lesson. Always teaches a lot of players where their game are, because no one quite puts you under that pressure which Tranmere do at home, hence their home record. So like I say, full credit to them. We dusted ourselves down, we quickly recovered and look to next week.
Superb effort from the fans, not too sure on the number, but well over 600 today, and they made a noise for 90 minutes. Yeah, they did. I could see the effort. We became disjointed towards the end, and it became an open game, and a game we're not used to, but we're having to chase it and force certain personnel into those uncharacteristic positions which I've mentioned. I just hope it's not come too big a too big an aspect towards the players' mentalities. They can't lose confidence on the back of today. They've got to understand what it was. We've got 2 home games to look forward to. And that starts with Rochdale next week. After the Easter period always seems to confuse us what day we're on, but back to not quite a full week, but a more normal schedule going into that one.
Yeah, definitely. They'll need a couple of days to recover. They probably need a couple of days away from us. Like I say, it wasn't the lack of effort, it was just a lack of real quality today, and the intensity and the fitness of the game. Hopefully, Tim seemed to get a whack early on. I'm not sure if it was his shoulder, his head, and there was a few bruising moments in that game where we probably came out second best in all honesty. But in terms of where the group Super. Hopefully they don't look too bad a shape fitness wise. We don't expect anyone back for next week. They can rest, recuperate, have a little break, and then we push forward to 2 home games in quick succession.
And like you've said before, you always tell the players to enjoy these last few games. It is, for them to just go out and enjoy them, like you said.
It's an easy thing to say, to go out and enjoy. We've got to play football and we've got to be ourselves. That was my frustration today. They turned us into a different team to what we've been for the majority of the season, but that can happen, and full credit to the opposition. But then next time that happens, we've got to have a little bit of an idea of what to do to improve our situation.
Matt, thanks a lot.